Hey, everybody, welcome to week 9 of the College of Business and Analytics class, Digital Marketing, that I teach here. This is my third semester teaching here, the wonderful class for the wonderful students that we have here at the College of Business and Analytics. This week, very interesting topic. So, digital marketing encompasses a lot of different areas and mediums. And so this week we're talking about podcasts and how podcast and live streaming kind of go together, are able to not only increase branding for your business, give you credibility, build that trust, but it's also different ways to do and utilize inbound marketing. So we have all these different avenues that the students are learning, and this applies to businesses and organizations. But how do you utilize podcasting or live streaming like this to make an impact? Well, first, we talk about it from the very first beginning day of class, your target audience. Whatever you decide to do your podcast on, make sure that it's authentic, that you know about it, that you can also learn and grow with it. Don't ever just assume you know all the knowledge. You need to, all the successful ones are the ones that go into researching and putting a little bit more time and effort into it. So that being said, I better practice what I preach. So why podcasting? Why should you take the time? Well, there's a lot of interesting statistics on this, but some of the biggest ones are that there are over 3 million podcasts now. There are over 460 million worldwide podcast listeners. I think if in the notes that I put, you could see that it is a $3.4 billion industry. And a lot of people, especially those in America, are listening consistently to podcasts. Now, you might be thinking, well, the only ones that are successful are the crime ones. That's not true. The real successful podcasts, the audio ones, are on platforms that have consistent episodes. They have interesting themes. They have interesting guests. It was really cool because today is Thursday. Our class is Tuesdays and Thursdays. On Tuesdays, I challenged the students to come up with their own authentic podcast show that they could continue to grow with and that there would be an audience for. And I got to tell you, out of one of them, one really stood out, and that was for one of my students that loves art. And so for hers, she was hesitant to talk about it as a podcast show, but what was really great and interesting is that hers would be a great live streaming show. And I kind of added a little bit to it and had, what if you did this? Her concept was she loves art, loves to paint, and she would love to have guests on to talk about the styles in the painting. And I said, wouldn't it be great if you did a side-by-side and listeners wrote in and gave some ideas of what they wanted to see you both paint. And so you draw it out. You guys are not together. Maybe you're live streaming from separate locations. That is something you can do for podcasting. And you basically have these conversations. And maybe if you're adults over 21 and you have a glass of wine or you have something, something relaxing to either maybe sponsor the show or just to make it, more intimate. And so have this show for 15, 20 minutes where you're painting something that's your listeners suggested. And then at the end, you guys show each other what you painted and see and talk about the different variations. Now, that's great for a live stream, not so much for a podcast show. However, some of the other great podcast ideas included, and this was interesting, watching episodes of series or TV series and changing the alternate ending, giving at the end of it how the person, the podcast listener, the student in this case, would have ended that special episode, what changes they would have made. The other one is commenting on clothing and talking about the clothing, the history, the style of TV episodes. So I thought there were some very creative ways to do this with podcasting and make it authentic and make it connect with the audience. Now, what could they do with these podcast shows? Well, the one that dealt with fashion, you could absolutely have inbound links to go order those, affiliate links. You could make some commission or money off of that. You could get sponsored, like for the live streaming one, for the art and wine drinking, and for the alternate endings, you could actually probably create a newsletter or sell merchandise of that sort through the podcast. One of the things I just wanted them to understand is that a podcast really isn't about themselves. It's about the content, connecting that with the audience, and finding ways that people can see it through your eyes in a unique and different way, right? So that's the key thing. And then the number one question is always, well, how do I monetize it? There's many different ways: by writing a book, selling a book, getting sponsorship, affiliate links, and then newsletters, driving people back to build a brand or to build a website. So there's many different ways that you can do it. Looking forward to today with a discussion with a podcaster to talk about how they're using it as well. And we'll see. So if you're interested, or someone in your family or a friend is interested in getting a degree at SIU in marketing or accounting at the College of Business and Analytics, or your MBA, please reach out to the little scrolling marquee right there with all the information, business.siu.edu. Love to have your students, your students, would love to have you, your kids, your grandkids, your nieces and nephews in my class and in the College of Business and Analytics. So reach out to us. Let us know what we can do. And as always, this week is homecoming. This week is homecoming, everybody. So as always, go Dogs.